This is a transformative initiative and will connect 11,000 homes and businesses across Northumberland, supporting needs such as online education, healthcare, agribusiness, remote work, and digital business operations. This moment has been, I keep saying this, a long time coming and a long time in the making. In 2019, Northumberland County began pursuing an ambitious plan to overcome the barriers that had resulted in nearly 1/3 of our community being unserved or underserved by critical broadband technology. Standing before you today, the outcome has been worth every step of the journey, even if the journey has been a bit excruciating from time to time. I wish to give credit to our partners who also saw potential where others previously saw impossibility, and committed to collaboration and investment to deliver this vital network. First, I would like to acknowledge and thank the Government of Canada, who has invested in this network through the Universal Broadband Fund, which supports high-speed internet projects across the country. The Province of Ontario, whose original commitment to invest has been increased through the Improving Connectivity for Ontario, ICON program, which aims to improve and expand reliable, high-speed internet in areas of need across Ontario. And Windsor Private Capital, our private sector investor. Altogether, this provincial and federal government investment of $64.2 million, along with additional private sector investment, has created a generational project that is making it possible to close the digital divide for rural Northumberland communities. I have often said that internet connectivity is today's hydro. 100 years ago, we made significant investments to make sure everybody had electricity, and now we're making significant investments to make sure everybody is connected. We're also proud to be working alongside a trusted partner, Axel Telecom, who brings deep experience in delivering broadband to rural communities. I want to thank President and CEO Ray LaHood for being here today. Axel crews have been hard at work since March, installing cable in areas like Trent Hills and Port Hope, including right here in Canton, and we look forward to continued progress. I'd like to say a big thank you to the Honourable David Piccini. Your advocacy for rural connectivity has been instrumental in securing the provincial investments needed to move this vital work forward. We are grateful for your partnership. We are always grateful for your partnership, Dave, and for your continued commitment to Northumberland. Northumberland County has proudly committed to supporting this vital infrastructure and overseeing its implementation as stewards of public investment. We look forward to witnessing the remarkable growth and innovation that ultra-fast, reliable, high-speed internet connectivity will spark in every corner of our community. Unfortunately, a Government of Canada representative was unable to join us today. However, the Honourable Buckley Boulanger, Secretary of State for Rural Development, shared with us the following quote. "This project will be a game changer for people in Northumberland County. Reliable, high-speed internet means safer communities and better access to healthcare, education, and emergency services. Through these investments, your federal government is making sure no one is left behind, no matter where they live in Canada." I'm now going to ask MPP Piccini to come forward to the podium to welcome our special guest today to our community and also to deliver some remarks following
So it's wonderful to be here today with all of you. Good things happen when all levels of government work together. And I think back, Brian, to conversations we've had, to going up to the northern portion of your municipality in Codrington, on what we didn't know what the day would unfold, but it ended up packing Codrington Community Center. And when I looked out, I saw all walks of life. I saw young people wanting to be connected, children. I saw farmers trying to grow agribusiness. I saw first responders saying it's a matter of life and death. And regardless, I think it's something that can unite every facet of our beautiful Northumberland County, the need for reliable connectivity. And in today's day and age, the pandemic certainly showed, not being connected has an economic impact. It has an impact on our productivity and our gross domestic product. And so if we're going to be a competitive province, if we're going to be a competitive region, which I know we are, there is a moral imperative that we are connected to high-speed, reliable internet. And when I sat down with the county team and through successive wardens who are here today and county staff about this innovative project, It was exciting. 1,200 kilometers of fiber. Just think about that for a moment. 1,200 kilometers. 11,000 homes. This is a game changer for Northumberland County. A game changer. And hats off to everybody on the team who made it possible. What I really love about it, especially in the labor portfolio, is the fact that it puts men and women to work across Ontario. And I know today in the rain, we forgive everyone that was frustrated with the rain just coming in here today. There are men and women out there right now from Leona Local 183 who are working on this project day in and day out. And these are remarkable. What I love about this project is it's partnering with the private sector. And I know Marco, you'll hear from Marco. It's rare to not be the only man with a vowel at the end of his last name in a room in Northumberland County. So now there's two. So Marco, thank you for being here and for your work. I've always enjoyed the times we've been out to our training center in Coburg to meet young men and women who are working on the forefront of powering a reliable, low-carbon future in the nuclear sector, and who are now going to be connecting all of our homes to reliable, high-speed internet. And an opportunity in the trades is a career for life. And for young men and women, like many in particular, because you can't build what we want to build in this province, leaving 50% of our workforce behind. And I'm thinking of young women that I saw in Hastings with our trade tech truck the other day. They were out getting hands-on experience, and the number one thing I heard, ubiquitous from all those youth, was, "We've never tried this before." Well, many of them and many of our own neighbors will be working on this project to connect us. So for the farmer that wants to grow their business, for the young entrepreneur that wants to connect their product offering to the world, that's going to be supported by their neighbors who are going to be working on this project. And I can't think of a better partner than working with our county partners, Windsor Private Capital and Leona Local 183. I'm really honored to have Sam Oosterhoff here with me today, who also represents a rural community, a community with proud agricultural roots. Has had me down if you ever go and visit. Great wine and great peaches as well. Sent me home with that. And Sam's been a phenomenal advocate, and he's our Associate Minister of Energy Intensive Industries. And why does this matter? Because right prior to the election, it's been a busy first 100 days. Announcing a new hospital, investment in training, and today, internet. Just prior to the election, we made a commitment for a generational commitment for new nuclear, which will have a game-changing impact on our economy and on our GDP, driving low-carbon energy. And one need look no further than the war in Ukraine right now and what Russia is doing to destabilize the entire region, to see the need for our ability to power our own future. We can be an energy superpower, we will be an energy superpower, and it's young men and women and young boys and girls growing up in our school system that are going to be the backbone of that in our community. And I'm so excited to have Sam here, who's leading that charge, working with colleagues like Minister Lecce, Minister Surma, and others to do this. So Sam, welcome to Northumberland. Thank you for being here today, and thank you all for being a part of it.
Well, thank you so much, Minister Piccini, and I have to say it is a privilege to be back here. Last time I was hosted, it was a few years ago when I was parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Education. That time it was snowing, and this time it is raining, but I'm very sure that next time we come through, you'll put in the order and it will be bright and sunny and beautiful, but it is beautiful. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to bring some brief remarks on behalf of the province of Ontario. I have to begin by acknowledging the warden. Brian, your team here have been fantastic on making this a priority project and on ensuring that any red tape was addressed and dealt with and be able to move forward. And you have an incredibly fierce champion at Queen's Park with Minister Piccini. He's sometimes called the Energizer Bunny. I know I'm in the Ministry of Energy, but he has so much energy. He's someone who pounds the table for your community's needs, and you can see, like he said, whether it's new nuclear, whether it's advocacy for the new hospital that I know is coming to your community, and now also with the over $64 million investment into broadband here. He really is delivering, and he's someone who we're very grateful to have at Queen's Park because he does great work for his community, but he also is a fierce champion of workers in his role with the Ministry of Labor. So I want to thank you, Minister, for your work and for your welcome. It is great to be here today to celebrate what's a major step forward for this community. As the minister mentioned, I come from a rural community as well, Niagara West, which is the western 2/3 of the Niagara region. It's only about 20% of the population, 100,000 people, but over 65% of the region as a whole. And it is an area that includes places maybe you've never heard of, like Waynfleet or Pelham, but perhaps some others you have, like Lincoln and Grimsby, chunks of St. Catharines, and West Lincoln as well. And my community, like Northumberland County, has seen challenges with connectivity, and it's had a real impact on the quality of life of people who move to our community, people who are born and raised in our community, and want to be able to be full participants in the 21st century digital economy, who want to be able to ensure that they have reliability. And that's why I was very thankful when earlier this year Premier Ford moved the broadband file into my portfolio and said, Sam, we need to make sure we get every single person in this province connected. It's a commitment we've made, and now we're continuing to work with partners to get that done. And what great news today's announcement is for those 11,000 households. 11,000 households, probably close to 30,000 people if you do the math on 2.5 people per household on average, close to 3. That's an incredible change for these individuals who perhaps currently have either spotty or non-existent access to high-speed internet. It can have a huge impact on students who are pursuing education, on entrepreneurs who are looking at starting perhaps online businesses, or who are perhaps working with physical businesses but need to be able to have that reliability. The great news as well is that construction is already underway. We know that this isn't a pie-in-the-sky future announcement. This is literally happening as we speak. And you spoke about those hardworking members of LIUNA. We can just thank the men and women who are willing on days like this, but on every day of the year, to go out and really do that work. We're all in here. It's dry. It's warm. We're thankful for that, but there are so many who are out there actually making this reality on the ground, and I want to acknowledge them as well. I also want to acknowledge all the levels of government and the private sector partners like Windsor Private Capital who came forward. It allows a certain level of nimble activity that you see when there are this many partners, where people are pushing each other for excellence. They're pushing each other to make sure that the results that they commit to are delivered. And being led locally by Axel Telecom, which is a Canadian-owned company, and it has extensive experience delivering broadband solutions into rural communities. Constructing this as well is amazing. We've talked before about some of the challenges that we see in broadband applications in different parts of this province. This is an enormous province. Multiple countries the size of France can fit into Ontario, and that presents challenges, unique challenges also to those who are seeking to actually build out our broadband infrastructure. So I want to acknowledge and thank the team at Axel Telecom for that work, as well as the incredible work that has, I know, been done with Aldergrove First Nation, and that is incredibly important as we work towards reconciliation. Now, I've had the opportunity over the past couple of months to engage directly with Ontario's regional broadband partners, including SWIFT, which serves my own riding of Niagara West, the Blue Skynet up in Northern Ontario, and EORN, which is a creation of the Eastern Wardens Caucus and really demonstrates the foresight that so many people in Eastern Ontario have, and I want to commend the Warden and his colleagues for their advocacy for there. Now, I will say, this isn't the only program that we've expanded here in the province. There's almost $4 billion worth of expansion happening in every single corner of this province to connect over 270 different projects, over 129,000 homes and businesses province-wide. These are some of the hardest to reach communities, some of the hardest to reach premises in this province, and we're committed to making sure that every single person in this province has access to high-speed, reliable internet. But we know that that job currently isn't yet done. So we're going to keep working with internet service providers, municipalities, local distribution companies, and Indigenous partners to reduce barriers, accelerate construction, and ensure that these projects are delivered as quickly as possible. Because we know that high-speed internet isn't just a luxury, but it's a necessity for modern life. It's fundamental to our education, to healthcare, to business, and to overall community development. That's why today is an important step forward for families in Northumberland County and an important step forward for the entire province. Thank you, congratulations, it's a great day, and now I have the privilege of welcoming to the stage someone with a good, strong Irish name, Marco Di Carlantignonio.
I lived that name my whole life, so I'm used to it. You dread every teacher as they read through the names and they get to yours and you're like, oh my God, what's this gonna come out like? But anyway, thank you everyone for being here. I'm here on behalf of Windsor Private Capital. I'm pleased to mark this major milestone for Northumberland County and the communities across rural Ontario. The Northumberland Broadband Project represents a public-private collaboration that will provide a real and lasting impact for this community. Through the initiative, I think everybody's spoken about the 11,000 underserved homes and businesses across the rural Northumberland region, and they will soon have access to a reliable, high-speed internet network. I think in today's world, it's an essential. Windsor Private Capital Infrastructure Fund, which is our fund that invested in this project, also had the support of the Canadian Infrastructure Bank in building this digital foundation needed for innovation and economic growth. At Windsor Private Capital, we are proud to add the Northumberland network to our extensive experience in connecting underserved communities. Through our network with Axel Telecom, we are building and investing in the infrastructure necessary to bring essential high-speed internet to Port Hope, Cramé, Hamilton, Aldwick, Haldimand, Brighton, Trenton Hills, and Alderville First Nations. As we continue to expand our investment in the local telecommunications across Ontario, we're proud to support communities like Northumberland, where the need is clear and the potential is great. This work wouldn't be possible without the strong leadership and partnership of Northumberland County, the Government of Canada, the Province of Ontario, and our financing partners at the Canadian Infrastructure Bank. In particular, I want to acknowledge the $64 million in funding provided through the Universal Broadband Fund from Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada and the Ministry of Energy and Mines of Ontario, and maybe Ministry of Infrastructure as well, where it previously resided. So thank you very much. We would also like to acknowledge the LIUNA Pension Fund of Central and Eastern Canada, one of the country's largest private sector union-sponsored pension funds, on whose behalf we have been able to expand the WPC Infrastructure Fund and invest in local telecommunication providers like ATEL Networks, Bruce Telecom, GBTEL, and Axel Telecom. We are very fortunate to work with the great people at LIUNA in many facets, including the members of Local 183. As we mentioned, they're out there working in your communities today, the men and women, and they are instrumental in bringing this much anticipated project to fruition. Their expertise and dedication will help ensure a high quality, long-lasting network that will serve Northumberland County for years to come. In closing, I'd really, if I don't mention Dan and TJ and the work that they did to get this project across the line with the help of Robert Watson and others, I would say that this project was probably 14 months in the making to get there, and we had to go through various iterations with the levels of government. The province of Ontario ultimately provided additional funding to make this all possible. The community, the county contributed as well. So I think a debt of gratitude is owed to them. There were moments of frustration and anger and maybe some laughter here and there, but it took a lot to get this done, and I really appreciate their efforts. And we have Ray LaHood here, who's our CEO, who manages basically our portfolio of telecom ISPs, and if there's technical questions, I know he's capable of handling them. So Anyway, thank you very much for everyone being here. Appreciate it.